What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Flannel Panel. It's been a little bit of time. We were off last week. Life just seemed to get in the way of everyone, and challenging circumstances and all that stuff. But we are back tonight, and we're gonna have some fun. Speaking of challenging circumstances, we have Jason, who might join us when technical difficulties sort themselves out. So we're here with Corey and Troy, and then Jason will pop in. Ty is traveling the world doing that magic stuff. So
it's rough. He's being a famous magician.
So we'll get him back on as soon as he can. But yeah, it's been an eventful week. A couple weeks. Yeah, Troy had some Corey instances, and yeah, it's been fun. So what's been going on with you guys?
So, Troy, are you broadcasting via generator currently?
Well, I was all set up with my generator, and about 15 minutes ago, our electric came back on. So I just got done running around, unplugging and replugging everything back in. So we're on electric now. So up until 15 minutes ago, it was like the Stone Age around here.
Did you call and tell the power company, like, listen, assholes, the flannel panel starts?
Yeah.
Once I told them I was part of the flannel panel, things seemed to get straightened out.
It started to light up.
Damn it. Hold, please.
Yeah, it was a scary night. Oh, thanks for stopping. That was Jason Newman, special reporter.
he took his camera off but didn't mute his mic. So here, I'll do that for him. The earthquake's happening or something. But he looked pretty fancy. Is that a new spot for Jason?
Yeah, it did look pretty fancy.
I know. Yeah, he was working on the new bar setup.
When he gets back on, I'll have to see this.
He re-nooked it. So Troy was telling a story there that you were via generator. You have tornado damage, right?
Yeah, I've not really heard if it's been classified a tornado, but that's what everybody keeps saying. So I don't know how that gets determined. But yeah, Corey, you've never seen nothing like it. It was, you've never seen one like this, No, but it was scary. It was Monday night about midnight. I was still awake. I was in my basement down here watching TV, and I heard the wind, and I was just heading upstairs to get the girls, and they met me on the stairs. They were coming down. So we spent the night huddled up down here in the basement until about 4. Things finally calmed down. So it was several hours. There's Dave. Yeah, it was several hours of one cool thing that I've never seen, and maybe this is pretty common, but the wind was blowing so hard it was actually sucking the water from the toilet back down the pipe. You know what I mean? Like the vent pipe was drawing a vacuum or whatever. That's kind of cool. But anyway, so the next morning it was surprising to see how many. The whole town's pretty much just tree damages mostly. It didn't really destroy any houses except for the houses that had trees on them. But for the last 2 days, the whole town's just chainsaws and generators. It's a pretty big deal for our little area.
Yeah, we got it on Saturday, and I kind of felt bad that I was sending y'all photos and video of tornado in Kansas, and then I don't know if it was like if I sent it your way, or if now I have to send you like your official Kansas like statehood card or something like that. I don't know if you're like your survival badge now. Yeah, all your bourbon is now tornado survivor. I'm like 5-time tornado survivor back here, so we're like it's all worth more money.
Yeah,
you guys like 200 grams of bourbon
and a half a bottle.
Yeah, old granddad tornado survivor. Warehouse teas. We got it.
But I was wanting to apologize for not having a flannel on, but it's been like mid-90s all day, and we haven't had any air conditioning, so I got a flannel hanging behind me, but I did not want to put that thing on. It is hot.
There's a flannel present. It's hot AF today.
Yeah, Jason's is that a bamboo?
I took the loophole. Yeah, I got the bamboo. This is the Slayer bamboo, the one that just came out last week. So
sweet.
How do you like it? Is it a comfortable shirt?
Oh, it's comfy. I don't do well in short sleeves because they look like I wind sail, but it's pretty good.
You just get a bunch of tattoos.
This was talking about
exactly.
Nat's talking about your bar setup, I guess, or something along those lines.
Oh, jeez. Just got dirty.
Oh yeah. No, that was the technical difficulties. I moved.
You had to stop and move the furniture and come back and go.
I wish. No, I moved the computer to the side there, and I had logged on and I realized that those two windows, like they were like two searchlights, so I had to block them real fast.
Oh,
So
you look good.
thank you.
Looking good. So we got Tornado Survivor, Ohio, and Troy.
Mhm.
We had a tornado touchdown fairly local to us a few weeks back now too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
We had one this past Saturday, like passed over top of the radio station while we were doing the broadcast. The video that I sent y'all where you could hear the wind change to that train whistle noise, which is like that's the sound of my people in Kansas, and that sound means get your ass to the basement stat, because that's when it's coming through. Is a crazy wall cloud. So tornado was on the ground for a little while north of town and picked up right before town. Thank God. So
wow.
Otherwise, it'd have been a real thing.
A couple things I learned, which I'm sure you know, but as far as insurance goes, it doesn't cover trees. Trees are not covered, so getting them out of your street and stuff is all your own responsibility. But I have the one on my garage. They will pay to get that off the garage, maybe not haul it away and stuff. But
the one that damages a structure is their problem. The one that just falls down in your yard is your problem.
Yeah, we've got a lot of those in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Do you just
it's still hard to
roll
get
it out
through
into the
street?
That way it's the city's problem?
Yeah.
And that was a gigantic tree. It was beautiful. It's too bad it fell over.
Oh yeah, that was a nice tree. Yeah, even today, this afternoon, we were having a hard time just getting through the streets to get back to the house. Just a lot of streets still blocked and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well,
plus a lot of crews in here working.
Yeah, I'm glad everybody's safe.
Yeah. Does everybody have a drink?
I do.
I don't have a whiskey drink. Do you have? Is there?
I don't actually.
Well, it's ironic because isn't it National Bourbon Day?
Yeah, and I grabbed.
Is that today or was that yesterday?
I thought it was yesterday.
I thought it was yesterday. Listen, all days are National Bourbon Day. Just pretend you're from Kentucky. It counts.
That's true.
Going with the Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, nice.
Nat maybe she likes gin, doesn't she?
I put on the Slayer and got inspired, so I'm drinking some of the Black and Cast Strength.
That'll do.
Mm-hmm.
That's some good stuff.
Did Michael Williams send you all M&Ms?
Oh, yes. I wanted to see if you guys got those. Did you guys get your samples?
I did.
No.
So maybe we could.
Although
I check my mail once a month, so it's probably in there.
Borders wise, you never know. Yeah,
I'm sure it is.
Not to mention that I get this. I also got a nice box of M&Ms.
If I don't have a notice that there's a Dixon in my mailbox, I don't really worry about it.
Fine.
Dixon, your mailbox.
Yeah.
It's just aggressive.
A normal day. Uh-huh.
All right. Well, if you got something, pour a little out. So last Wednesday, part of the postponement was you've seen a bunch of us wearing the Cancer Sucks t-shirts here. Podcasters have been wearing them. They were at Whiskey Weekend everywhere too. And that was for our good brother, Eric Conklin. It turned into a fundraiser. It started out being just buy some shirts. And so, he's one of my best friends on the planet. And he passed away last Wednesday night. So got a chance to be there. It was super sad. And at the same time, no more pain for that guy. And so you have to kind of look at it that way. And we're all better people from having known him.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So there you go. Here's for
cheers to Eric and
brother Conklin.
Cheers.
The Kansas City boys. Mm-hmm.
So for our whiskey club, I made some stickers for his collection because he left his whiskey collection to the syndicate. So he's a huge Star Wars guy. So I made Brother Conklin Star Wars bottle stickers. So we're going to put those on all his bottles. And then the Advent calendar that we do every year, he'll still be able to be part of Advent. So we'll divvy up the bottles.
That's awesome.
That's smart.
It should be pretty sweet. And then the ones that are open, John Lonker is kind of like our resident master of science mixologist, right? Mm-hmm. So he's going to take some of his ones that are open and blend them together to turn into 2 bottles for when he has his Celebration Life service. And then we'll use those 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty slick.
That is cool, man. Those stickers are awesome too. And what a good friend, Corey. You've really you look after your people, and we're proud to know you as well.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's a rough night, but we've had some days, but today's a pretty good day. So yeah.
And that was smart of him to donate that whiskey because like JJ and I have had arguments about what we're going to do if anything ever happens to our friend Dave, who's getting his whiskey. So it's smart of him to kind of nip that in the bud.
I think I was in a vehicle with you guys while you were talking about that. Actually, that whiskey weekend.
Yeah. What a weird thing to have to plan, right? But I mean, like, aren't we all to the stage where like it's a thing that people are gonna wonder about, right? They're like, well, who's getting all of his booze? Like,
yeah. There was one conversation where he said, "You guys split it up if anything ever happens to me." And since then, what we've been told that we're not getting any of it. I think some other people got it in front of us in line. So.
You better sneak some of that out there when you get a chance.
Yeah. You know, he shares with us, so it's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless
Dave's down in Nashville this week.
Oh yeah, what's he up to there? Just a vacation?
Yeah, he said it's very hot. It must have been hot because he's in Nashville and they went to see Top Gun today. So that seems like a weird thing, you know. Driving to
I haven't
Nashville
seen it yet.
It's really good.
I gotta get it.
I really liked it.
I was supposed to go and then got a stomach flu and just life's been chaos here with interviews and all that stuff. So, but man, I want to see it so bad.
You should definitely go see it in a theater, though. Like,
I have to.
You will be disappointed if you wait and you watch it. I mean, not that watching a movie at home it's a totally different deal than it used to be when we were young. Holy shit! But yeah, it's a in the theater experience. For sure.
Definitely. I just have to make some time this weekend. Things lighten up for me, and it's going to be, it's going to be a lot better. So hopefully, I can find a couple hours and run out and watch it because I definitely want to see it.
Yeah.
And I've heard nothing but awesome reviews from it. So
yeah, it's really good. It's just enough nostalgia, but also enough of a twist on it that it doesn't feel like it's just 100% rehash. And the action sequences and the flight sequences are crazy good.
I'm stoked. Yeah. Tommy D in the house. Tommy D was on BBN with us last night.
Saw him last night.
Yeah, he was hanging out.
I was trying to make a comment about his beard growth, and that my camera cut out, and it got kind of
that was hilarious. So he's like, Tommy D, it looks like you've grown 3 inches, and cuts out for a while, and everyone's like, "What do you mean here?" But he meant his beard, which is
let it get awkward. It's fine.
Looking glorious.
I missed out. I feel bad. We had a friend from London fly in when an aunt's friends got married, and he flew in for the ceremony. So we had a little dinner last night and a tasting.
That's cool.
So
where we were at your place?
Oh yeah.
You threw that fire pot testing.
Yeah, we tested all the dragons last night.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
You didn't buy more pots, did you? Just test to make sure everything's good for this year.
No, it's the 25, the same as last year. It's just that, I mean, it's not like there's a bunch of times where you're like, hey, let's roll them out and fire them up.
Yeah.
And so it's more of a double checking to make sure everything's still good. Let's see if I can. Don't try to kill it with a volume. I don't know if you can see a phone.
You could throw it up if you want to throw it on your computer, Corey. Oh, there we go. Here, let me pin you.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, here, I'll replay that.
There we go. Check this thing out. Fire.
I'm excited.
Oop. Yep. There you go. In the background.
That's awesome.
Now, do you wait and drink beer after that's over? You're not doing any drinking during the testing, are you?
No, that's not recommended.
I mean, it seems like that's be like a natural itch to like, oh, I need a beer, but I don't think.
Yeah, you want to. Like, trust me. The struggle is real because it's like, I mean, every dude's want to is to be like, woo, watch this. But it's a lot of highly flammable, problematic stuff. So on the day of, like the guys that are on the shoot team inside the fence have to run breathalyzer multiple times a day just to.
Oh, well, that's probably smart. I never would have thought of that.
Mm-hmm. Just to make sure that everybody's
clear,
and we wait.
Like legal wise, they have to do that, or is that proactive for you guys?
Both, I believe.
Both, yeah.
So if you're, you just can't. So it
to
makes sense.
The permit or whatever, you have to
6
do that.
tons of fireworks on site. So it's kind of So yes, but you definitely wish that you'd kick out a cold one and get some marshmallows and hang out. So, but not so much. That's after.
Yeah.
I say that makes the after party that much better.
Yeah, such a big ordeal that you guys need to be on your game to run around and do all that stuff. And yeah, for sure.
That was one of the highlights of not having power. I actually had a cooler of beer in my kitchen for the last couple of days. I was like, I said to Pat, look how cool I am. I've got a cooler of beer in the kitchen.
Oh, wow.
People were coming over to help, and I didn't have anything to give them. So
Troy's got some delay. Everybody in Ohio right now.
Screenshot it right now.
There we go. Oh, he's back. Everybody in Ohio is on the internet, and bandwidth is killing you, Troy. It's good.
I apologize.
That said, look at that new setup you got going on.
Look at me.
Yeah, you're looking good. The whiskey wall and the bourbon bar. I like it.
Perfect.
It's the best I can do with what I have to work with.
That's all you need.
I love it.
All you need is an excessive amount of bourbon, and you're just perfect. You got it.
Excessive amount of bourbon. Yeah. So I was gonna say those text threads, because lately life has been chaos. And what is etiquette in the text thread? Do you guys go in after the fact and give a million likes and like hearts to all these images, or do you just kind of go and review them and then be quiet? Like I get like 85, 90 messages, and I'm just like, should I start liking all these things? Because then you guys are going to hate me with the updates. So what's that etiquette look like? What do you think? And if you're in the chat, what do you do with your text threads?
I think I'm in the middle. I do skim back, and the ones that are, noticeably
special, maybe.
Yeah, or just because it is a mid. You want to be.
Let me unmute him.
You want to be present. You want to make sure people know you're there and you're listening, but you don't want to be obnoxious. So.
Yeah. It depends on the time too, right? Like if you want to go through it like 11 o'clock during the day and bang out 100 hearts and likes and thumbs up, great. If you're now scrolling through them at 1 a.m, because that's when you have the first opportunity to maybe hold
that's it. It's like 1 a.m. I'm like, I'm just gonna pass. But I see all these videos. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't think I should like about 15 times right now, but it's 2 a.m. in the morning. And Troy's getting up at 4.
I do have, so, like we're at a group, all us with like 9 other people, so 13 total, right? Yeah. So it's a lot. It can get crazy. I do have it muted at nighttime. Yeah, that way. Otherwise, it would. So I mean, go crazy. I don't care. I won't hear it, but. But yeah.
Sometimes I have to turn my phone off at nighttime because even though I have it muted, my screen lights up every time a new message comes in, and it just kind of wakes me up that way. So,
I usually when I see it
to get those messages, though, like sometimes you're like, oh, this is great, like it's fun. Yeah.
But I kind of look at the volume of the post too. If there's a post that like all of you have posted, I likes and stuff. Yeah. I'll just let that one go. Well, but if there's like one with only 1 or 2, I want someone to feel like they've been heard.
I'm the other way.
You're validating people now?
I was, exactly.
If I'm the only one that hadn't liked something, I got to go ahead and like it too. I don't want to, that's one of my things. If I see there's 10 likes on it,
I feel bad.
They're going to click on it, right?
Nobody clicks.
Yeah, they're going to click on it and see who liked it, and they're like, what the shit? Why didn't Troy give it a heart? Like
Troy skipped another one.
I want to be that one heart that says, "I got you, boo."
I'm also funny about the hearts because I'm not a very
Troy doesn't like.
I'm not very well in touch with my emotions, and like was kind of getting off the subject, but when I was about 30, everybody in my family started hugging. No one had ever hugged me my whole life, and all of a sudden, everybody wants to hug all the time. So I'm a little funny about hugs. You know what I mean? Like. So last weekend, it was my mother-in-law's 80th birthday, and we all went out to eat. My brother-in-law had his family, and my family, there's like 12 of us. And the food comes, we're at a restaurant, and the food comes, and my brother-in-law says, well, let's say a prayer. So we all bow our heads, and he starts praying. And my mother-in-law sits beside me, and she reaches over to grab my hand. And my mother-in-law and I don't have that kind of relationship, and I'm kind of funny about it anyway. And I look at her and say, knock it off, and put my head back down. I look up, and everybody else around the table is holding hands. And then I felt like a real asshole. But I'm sorry. I'm just not wired that way. I blame my parents.
I have that same issue. I really get anxiety on what to do. Like it even happened last night with the same man, Alan. Sorry, the one that was here. He's from London. He's very British, very British. He's actually traveled the world twice, So he's quite an amazing man, but he's very reserved in that British way. And when he came to dinner, we shook hands because it'd been a while, and the dinner went great. They were leaving, and as we were talking, I think he leaned in to pat me on the back or something. I thought he was going in for a hug, so I just bear hugged him. And then
he kissed him. I was like,
wow.
wow.
No, I should have, but it was a
been funnier.
The hug was definitely stronger on my part. I think he just let it happen.
Oh, did he dead fish you?
He kind of dead fished me, and then after that, like the rest of the evening, like, oh gosh, I just squished a Brit, and I felt terrible.
That could
and
be
I just felt so awkward.
That could be a sticker.
So, as a matter of fact, for Whiskey Weekend, I gave everybody fair warning. It's like, I'm not reading social cues. I'm hugging everybody. If I offend you, I'm sorry. You know. So.
And with you guys or my friends, I don't really get offended. It's just my family. It kind of makes me feel like, you know, we weren't this way 10 years ago. What's, you know, I don't know. I think it's more for show. I don't know, but it drives me crazy. It's my sister and my cousin. I'm like,
It's skipped a generation in my house. I think it's probably my fault, but my immediate family, my mom and dad, we rarely hug. Hell, we rarely talk, but that's beside the point. But so playing it forward, like growing up, I always hug. Even now, my kids, 30 years old, at the end of the conversation, will say, "I love you, Dad," and it's just all the time. So I'm kind of proud of that. I turned them into touchy-feely huggers.
No, you should hug everybody that is appropriate all the time.
Absolutely.
Tell them you love them and all that good stuff. But there are some folks that, like 100%, where you're just like,
yeah,
I don't know. I think maybe this hug is for you and not for me. Like,
yeah. That's what I feel about all of them.
So you feel good about you, or is it so we feel good about us? Like, if I hug Troy, it's because we'll feel good about us and seeing each other. There's some other folks that come to hug me, and I'm like, I don't know you really.
I'm gonna out Nat a little bit. She may come down and punch me. I got to get this out before she can get down the stairs.
Oh,
but she's iffy on hugs. So if she doesn't really like you, she always goes in for the side hug.
Oh,
but the best part is
there it is.
It's so she doesn't really like you. She'll side hug you, and it's so funny to watch her face when they try to like make it a full hug. She will stop you with her finger and give you that look. It's hilarious.
That's awesome.
She'll go as far as dig her knuckle into your chest to keep you from going full hug. If she doesn't like you, if she likes you, then you're golden. But
that's kind of weird. If someone gives you the side hug, like that's kind of a sign, right? Who's not reading
exactly? I guess that tells the people. Yeah, it's more about healthy boundaries for Nat. I guess I should say. I should applaud her boundaries. But it is kind of funny to look on her face.
I would say it's pretty rare that I would ever initiate a hug.
False. Yeah. Whiskey Weekend. False.
Well, you know what? Yeah, that first night I was hugging everybody.
Yeah.
Well, that first night. Yeah,
I was so happy.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm more of a hugger than not. With my buddies and whatnot, like I'll give them a hug and whatnot, but just random people or people that I'm not so close with, I don't know. COVID may have stopped that a little bit.
You get
more
too. For real brothers, get the real hug.
Yeah.
People like kind of know, get like the crossed hand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I do
that. Bring it in. Hug.
The handshake, bring it in kind of thing. Yeah.
The predator handshake, back pat.
Yeah.
I also don't like. I'm not cool enough to know any cool handshakes like people do. I've been embarrassed several times with some of that stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
But are you embarrassed or did you embarrass them? Because I feel like you're like, what are you doing? Just shake my hand. Like,
yeah, it's just like I did not know what was going on and messed it all up.
Yeah, for sure.
We're just all running through our issues right now, I think.
But then you get the guys that do the power handshake where you come down and then it's a challenge, so you're not going to give an inch. I've done that before.
Well, so when you shake somebody's hand,
yeah.
What's the thing? Is it a firm handshake or what? Do you gauge you gauge the other individual or is it like dominance of power crushing your hand? What do you guys do? What do you get?
It's definitely in the moment. If I reach in for a handshake and I get a little, it's not as firm, I'll back off. But you know the ones that are. But you know what I'm talking about. You know that kind of the hug, the one where they kind of go down. No, they go downward and they kind of like squeeze your hand really hard and kind of like the used car salesman handshake. Yeah.
I usually just try to do just a basic firm handshake, but sometimes people will get you. You ever get people that kind of latch on before they even get all the way up in there? They just kind of
Yep.
get your finger.
And make them angry.
I don't know if that's because they have small hands or if I, if I'm,
I
That's
don't
an
know,
attempt to win the handshake.
I'm a mechanic.
Yeah.
I my hands can crush things. Like I use them for a tool. I don't need to crush your hand. So I usually go a little weak on the handshake, and then people call you out. I'm like, do you really want this? Because like, do you know what I'm like? They're like vice grips. Are you sure? Like, do you want
5 pounds of torque on these babies?
Exactly, So
I've measured.
I kind of go in. I go in a little easy on everything. So
no, and I'll call out a bad handshake. Like if you don't
Michelle's in the house.
Hey, Michelle.
if you don't get like the for real solid one, I'd be like, that's terrible. Do that again.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah.
On a side note,
what is the hand hug?
The hand hug
is that the cross chest?
You pull it in.
Kind of.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So the weird one is more when you go for a handshake and then someone else goes for a fist bump.
Yeah.
Weird.
And then your hand goes into their junk
not
and
really
it's just
sure
terrible.
What's happening. It's weird
just a
palming
bad
of a
scenario.
fist thing, and it's just
that reminds me. I had the one handshake I remember, which is funny because as a good example, we went to Rob Schneider here at Wise Guys. He's doing his stand up, and we had the VIP pass. We went back and meet him, and he walked off stage and he gave me a handshake. And he has the most soft, buttery hands, and it was like that fish. So I went to shake him. It's true. He doesn't do much. I'm just saying it was like awkward. Like it was. I don't know.
When was the last time that a Hollywood comedian did manual labor? I mean, come on.
I just expected. I don't know what I expected, but it was.
He's not Tom Cruise. I don't think Rob Schneider does his own stunts.
Beautiful, dainty hands. I was expecting a little more. I don't know. It was noticeable how soft and manicured his hands were.
Very delicate.
Memorable.
Very delicate. Yeah. It was. I remember.
That's a shitty thing to be known for, by the way. Like, that's not what you want someone to know you from. Be like,
especially
by
Rob
the way,
Schneider of all people.
Super delicate handshake.
He was he was a lot cooler than I thought. He was a really cool dude. His stand-up was awesome. I'll give him that credit. Like I said, except for and it wasn't even a bad handshake. He just had soft, buttery hands.
Like David Beckham. David Beckham, you expect to have soft hands. Like some model, whatever, Gucci or that kind of stuff. But Rob Schneider seems like a down and dirty kind of actor.
I mean, doesn't he play guitar or something? You think he at least has some calluses from?
I don't think that Jason got him to diddle his fingers.
Yeah,
it
was a quick offstage handshake.
How the callus was on your fingertips. Now it got weird.
Here's another thing.
We're eliminating the meet and greets at all future dates.
Let me read this.
Jason, when is the last show that you went to that you weren't in the VIP thing? I mean, if you're not a VIP, did you actually go to the show?
I will absolutely tell you that is one of the few virtues that Nat has brought into my life. VIP is a beautiful thing, and it's easily worth the extra $20.
I think Nat's a big fan of it. If it's not worth doing or doing big, then it's not worth the time.
That's exactly what it was. Like when I mean, and even just the little things. I mean, it was, I don't know. I get spoiled a little bit, but it's nice having that little interaction, even if it's a few minutes and they won't remember, that little interaction that makes it a special weekday instead of fighting in line and fighting crowds and watching a concert and stuff.
That sounds wonderful. Yeah, any non-line waiting would be
once
wonderful.
Again, humble brag. She got these amazing VIP passes to Elton John, and it was an entire evening. We got there 2 hours early. We toured the sound stage where they're doing sound check. We had dinner with the band. He didn't come out, but the rest of the orchestra and his tour manager and everything had.
We got to eat with all the peasants, not with certain, but we ate with the peasants.
He did step by and wave and then leave, but and then we went up on stage, took photo ops with one of his 9 pianos, and it was a great. The concert itself was amazing, but the extra little, we met some amazing people. We actually still keep in touch with during the champagne meet and greet. It just kind of makes it that more special of an evening. And
something like that's a different level of VIP than, I don't know, Whiskey Weekend. You know what I mean? Yeah. Elton John It'd be a little,
Right.
yeah. I mean, Greece is cold and everything, but
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, John's helping out. He's doing well, John.
Yeah.
So I will always tout the virtues of the VIP room
I love it.
in many ways. I saw you look, Corey.
Whoa. So just for future reference, when you're having these conversations with people that aren't sure what you're talking about, don't talk about the times that you spent in the VIP room with your wife. People are going to think that shit is weird. Just so you know, you
who's
have
to
be
say
very
it didn't happen?
specific at the meet and greet with Elton John.
There's a lot
Gotcha.
of furniture in the
Okay,
VIP
there
room.
you go. Yeah.
That was back to moving furniture. I see.
That's a callback.
Yeah. Is that what that is?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
So I would rather like the same theory. I would rather get one game with VIP tickets, box seats, than a season pass to something.
Yeah, because it's
It's about the same money,
They
and
do
I'd rather
that
have
for
one big experience
Yeah.
than a bunch. So
I get that. I get that.
I can see the virtue in that. Yeah.
I can facilitate that for a fireworks show, just so you know, if you guys want to. Not like everybody watching on YouTube, but
It's on my bucket list.
Yeah. Seriously, 100%.
Yeah.
Hey, if this interview goes through, maybe
speaking
I'll
of which,
come on down.
I want to brag about my latest VIP passes, which are to Boomtown.
Mhm.
I got VIP parking, VIP all the way, thanks to Corey. And Nat and I will be flying out on Saturday, and we're spending the weekend in Wamego.
You even supersized the fireworks. You know what I mean? Even when a VIP package is not available, he finds one.
Is this Trisha? Trisha
Yes,
or Leon?
yes.
Awesome.
What's
up, Leon?
Trisha or Leon, welcome. It's good to see you.
For the record, I still think that Leon looks like Scott Ian from Anthrax whenever he's on a VBN.
Agreed.
So
Yeah.
I had to show him who that was the first time I mentioned that. So it wasn't a fantastic reference, but I thought it was great.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the podcast or Whiskey Weekend, they did the Father's Day thing on Monday. Did you guys watch that?
I did.
So they did a
the gift
Father's
ideas?
Day
Yes.
gift idea. So we're
Yeah.
gonna steal
Okay.
that a little bit. But
Yeah, what were their
do you
gift
got?
ideas?
Like,
Did they have good ones?
we're all fathers here. What do you want?
Quiet.
Quiet.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
That's what I'm getting this year.
Yeah, Troy's got.
Hattie actually made plans. I
power
heard the
off
kids
and
are going
everything.
away, and I've got the house to myself for the whole day.
Sweet.
No
Happy
way.
Father's Day.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I don't need a big to do for Father's Day. Like, first of all, if you're going to do something like gadgets, right? Like gadgets that are like for either the garage or the grill is like a home run every time. Like
I was thinking a lightsaber.
that. Yes. Yeah. Or I mean, like if you buy your dad like a digital meat thermometer for the grill, like that's a great gift.
Yeah.
100%,
Those are awesome.
right?
Yeah.
Like if you buy one of those little magnetic trays that for nuts and bolts and sockets and stuff like that lay underneath the car while you work, that's a great gift. Like these are great gifts, right? Stuff like that, all perfect. Like I don't need a tie or a shirt. Yes.
Yeah, my go-to for my dad is a blade every year.
Knife, perfect, right? Yes.
And that's it. If you know, I mean, to know your father and know what he likes, you know, it's very simple. And they won't ask for anything, but that's what makes it more special, you know.
And if there's distance or your pop's old or somebody that's got everything, just it's the same thing as Mother's Day. You just gotta call a fool and make
that's
them
true.
feel appreciated. Just don't skip it.
Yeah.
And maybe even give him a hug, Troy. Yeah. You know.
Well, my dad would not like that. Yeah.
Well, maybe he would.
Hey, let me tell you a quick story about my dad. I'm not even positive. I think he's 76 now. And he came over here yesterday with his chainsaw, and he is a madman. I can't
kick ass on the yard.
keep up with him. Oh yeah, he just keeps. My brother had to get him off of my garage roof. That thing is not safe to be on. All the trusses are broken. He's up there trying to cut a 28-inch log off of the top of him. And but yeah, there's no quitting him. But yeah, so he's pretty cool.
And you said you bought him a flannel recently, didn't you?
Yes, I got him the green beret flannel because he was a green beret.
What a
so
gift.
cool. That's an amazing gift.
Which also
Yep.
sounds like he'd jump on a roof and cut a log off based on.
Oh yeah,
array.
yeah. On our
Yeah.
fishing trips up to Canada, there's not a lot to do. Fish, drink, but we'll come in the afternoons, take a little break, and we're just playing cards and stuff. He wants us to go out and see if we can find some branches to trim. He'll get some lopping shears or something, or I want to go clear a path. I'm like, a path to where? It's 800 acres of woods, But yeah, he can't sit still.
A path to Newfoundland.
Yeah, my
That'd
pops
be
is a dude who would
quite a
like.
hike. Yeah.
He doesn't want a gift; he wants a time, right? Like, so he'd rather like go catch a game or something like that, or go play around a golf or something like that. So my old man Neil's always been that way. So he's not in the shape where he used to be able to like work on cars and stuff like we used to build cars and do that kind of stuff, and that's tougher for him. He still swears up and down we got one more build left, which I hope so.
Do it.
Which would be awesome. But yeah, like, so he keeps one together, putting together a time sometime later in the summer, not for Father's Day, but where me and my brother and him can all go to a Royals game. And I'm like, sweet, we'll make it happen. And then we'll do it up Jason style where I'll, figure out, of course, shit, it's the Royals we're talking about. Like, I might be able to pitch right now. Like, they're so bad. Like, I think I might be able to play. So
good seats still available. Yeah.
Talking about baseball, the Jays are on fire.
Well, fantastic. The Royals are garbage. They are on fire, but it's a dumpster that's rolling down I-70. So, I might be able to play. Maybe that'll be a dream come true for him. But I bet we have really good seats, and that'll be a good day. So
cool. Yeah, my dad and I, my dad retired because of a motorcycle accident. So he retired early, busted up his leg pretty bad. Couldn't walk, almost had to amputate it because of how bad the break was and all that stuff. So he had a tough exit of his career kind of thing. And that was challenging on us. But as we got going on, I realized he needs something to do. He's at home so much. He's just bored, but he won't jump into a hobby or start to do stuff. So I've realized, like, if I see something he's got that sparks his interest, I'll get into it for a little bit, and I'll be like, cool. Hey, like, let's shoot archery, and then he gets right into archery and does all that stuff, or let's shoot some, go to the range a bit, and then he gets right into guns and whatnot. And lately it's been blades, but it's been like trying to make the blades. So we bought some stock, some steel, and we've been filing it out. And the challenge I gave
he's doing like forged in fire in the garage now. Not
forged. That's a step above us, but it's just stock removal. So he bought a bunch of metal, and we're sanding it down. So I gave him a challenge. I'm like, here's the deal: you wanted to make a tomahawk your whole life. We have till Christmas. He had the steel, and I cut it out, and we kind of cut it out and got the shape down. So now it's like file it down, sharpen it. We got to heat treat it and do all that stuff. And it's been a fun little thing where he's been able to dive in and really like learn about metallurgy and all this stuff. So so I found that's kind of his thing. He needs something to think about and research, because otherwise he's just sitting at home saying the world's going to end and conspiracy theories.
Like we're all of an age, like our parents left to their own devices on the internet are dangerous to themselves.
Yes.
Like, here's what you need less Facebook and you need more hobbies.
So I got to post the tomahawks on Instagram, but it's coming along. It's looking cool. I need to, the next thing is for mine and his the heat treat, because it's pretty soft, but I got it fancy. Like it's looking fun. So
that's cool.
Yeah. And to go off tomahawks, and maybe it's just the tip, but the Terminalist, I've been saying this book forever. This Jack Card, James Reese character with Chris Pratt playing it comes out July 1st, and I'm stoked because there's tomahawks throughout it.
Is it a movie or is it a
Amazon Prime series?
Okay.
Yeah. And the books,
I think they're going to release all the series, all the episodes at once, aren't they?
All at once. So you could do like, I think some people are doing like a watch party with like a lot of military people doing stuff, because the guy that wrote it was a SEAL and very like well-known SEAL or whatever. So super stoked to watch that based on his books. And again, if you haven't read them, super great books. Really like them. So I'll re-up that with just the tip when we get there.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
My dad he retired recently. He actually took up wildlife photography, which is perfect for him, because he's always loved wildlife. But he lives in Colorado, up in Denver, and So he'll go on these trips and he says he gets lost and like 8 miles later, he's in the middle. He's got some amazing photos.
That's cool.
So between that and I actually, for Christmas, I bought him a drone, one of those photography drones. I don't know if he's got it out of the box yet, but so either that or he's like all other 70-year-olds. His yard is immaculate. He builds monuments just something. He builds waterfalls in his garden. It's just immaculate. So
yeah,
he lives on his patio. So for Father's Day this year, I bought him some really cool tiki torches that are actually Bluetooth speakers.
Oh,
so they look like they actually have fake fire light image under it, so they look just like tiki torches. They're Bluetooth speakers, so you can just put them around the patio.
So is the goal to play music through them, or is the goal to freak people out like the tiki torches are speaking to me?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Knowing my dad is probably both.
Yeah.
They even have like just rocks now. Yeah.
That would be hilarious. Just think if you accidentally linked into him when you're doing alone time on your phone. Not that he does that.
What do you mean by alone time?
Wait, please hold.
What's alone time?
We gotta watch Jason. He's going to get us some bad rating.
Hey, theoretically, sometimes you just need to be alone with your thoughts.
Yeah, on your phone.
You might need inspirational programming to get you there.
So apparently, for today's just the tip.
There we go.
Turn off Bluetooth before you start your alone time.
Inspirational material.
Speaker that's playing on.
Exactly.
And in an Apple ecosphere, make sure that you're not casting to any Apple TVs in the house before.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Well, awesome. Yeah.
I could imagine.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I would be hilarious. Is what it would
listen,
be.
Amateur hour and make sure it's on a private browser. What the hell is happening? Like, what is the turn? Like, we're all saying how great our dads are. And
Jason
and
that bamboo.
Alexa, play my special playlist.
We're discussing the correct protocol for home Canadian ballet. This is not good.
So how about those Blue Jays?
Yeah,
they're on fire.
They're easy to catch on the wildlife photography.
You're welcome.
Yes, that was great.
We did the epic week. So my old man's had some heart troubles and things like that. So I mean, like he got neuropathy in his feet. Like it's a thing. Like he's got all kinds of stuff. I think mostly what we should do is like sit around and eat high content edibles and like watch movies. Like that's probably where we should be doing.
That would be awesome.
That's what that would max. That'd probably be the best thing for him and for all of us right now.
Yeah.
But good thing we're not recording this for the internet. But
hey, it's legal
allegedly.
Here. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Allegedly. So several years ago, like his greatest Father's Day weekend ever, we managed to do Sporting Kansas City soccer game, Royals game, and then NASCAR race. Like one weekend in Kansas City, like Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and then. Listen, he had a great time. It took me a very long time to recover from that. That was a lot of cold beers and a lot of sunshine in a 2.5 day span in June. So
if you're not driving home, you're sleeping all the way home, probably.
Yeah. It was good, but it was rough. He was determined to max out the weekend. So then you're like, you're stuck in a spot, right? Like if your old man's like, no, we're having another drink. You're like, well, shit, I guess we're having another drink, right? Because I'm not about to let him win. But it was that was a good weekend. So we probably can't tune it up quite like this again, but we'll try to get close.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So what would be your ultimate meal for Father's Day? If you could pick anything in the world, what would you want for Father's Day meal? Troy hates these questions. Troy,
mine's is never fancy enough.
I didn't get to think about this. Why didn't you send me this?
I need to prepare
earlier.
But But I'm just, I'm happy with just a ribeye on the grill or something.
I need to be
I'm not
very
used to that.
specific because my children are listening. So
Is
it's
that
like
right?
I'm ordering. I hope.
I want to hear what
Yeah.
Jason says because there's some accoutrements to that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's gonna have
something
he's gonna have the
in
truffle
there.
butter on the side
Yeah.
with some
Oh.
capers.
It has
I
to be
gotta-
on a certain type of board to cut it
You're
on.
right, the
like
correct
whole
board or plate.
Exactly.
Speaking of, that reminded me real quick. We went to a really nice steakhouse with my son the other day, and Nat did the most baller VIP move. It was actually accidental. So we were talking about truffles, and my son had never tried them, and so Nat asked, "Is like, hey, could you shave us some truffles in just a little on a plate, and so we can taste them?" So we didn't really. It was $20 for shaved truffles on a plate. I have pictures of her smelling them, nosing them like she does, and passing them around, and then she just left it on the table and walked away when we left. And we get halfway home, and she goes, "Oh, I forgot to bring the truffles home." That was the baller move. I'm going to spend $20 to smell something and leave it on the table and walk away.
Yeah, you put that on the internet, and I made one innocent comment, and then she started calling me names.
But
I don't think I've ever had truffles.
I don't think I have either.
I'm not a huge fan per
I
se.
like
but
truffle oil on things, right?
Yeah.
Like truffle fries or something like that, but never just like truffles just for truffles.
Yeah. It's a type of mushroom, is it not?
Yeah.
little morel mushrooms that
Yeah. I think of truffles. I think of like
Just-
the
Just watch that movie Pig with Nicolas Cage. It's actually a good movie, and it tells you all about truffles.
Oh.
Do they find them under the soil though?
Mhm.
Or
I'm sorry. Did you say the movie Pig with
Have you not
Nicolas
seen?
Cage?
Have you not?
That's Charlotte's Web.
Another Just
Yeah.
the Tip.
I think
No,
it's Babe
it's-
is the one you're thinking of.
No, it's actually a really good show. It was funny because I thought it was a John Wick knockoff, because the whole thing is they steal his pig and he goes out to get revenge and to get it. But it's
Troy's right.
it's a
This
lot,
is Charlotte's Web.
but it sounds dumb, but that pig is a truffle sniffing pig, and it's worth thousands and thousands of dollars, and that's his income. So they steal the truffle hunting pig, and then he goes to find it.
And this is a
Sounds
Nicolas
dumb,
Cage movie.
and it's a Nicolas Cage movie, and it is actually a very good Nicolas.
You
Cage
remember when
movie.
he used to be in like
Face Off.
shit kicking cool movies?
Face Off.
Dude,
I feel like
Face
Nicolas
Off?
Cage is falling on
It
hard
sounds
times.
it sounds
Yeah.
dumb, but trust me, watch
Con
it.
Air?
I think it's on.
Yeah.
It's on
John
streaming.
Malkovich in this movie or John
Yeah,
Travolta?
exactly.
No.
But I'm telling you, hear
Now
me now,
he's in.
hear me now, and believe me later.
Now
It is
he's
a very good movie.
now he's in Nick Cage as Nick Cage.
I do want
I
to see
think
that.
it's probably
movie. I
going to be
wanna
his
see
greatest
that
role
movie.
ever. But
Yeah.
I actually might buy that tonight to watch. I really want to see.
He
that
almost
movie.
didn't get the part.
Telling you, watch Big.
Yeah.
Th-
Did anybody watch the Obi-Wan episode from today?
Oh,
Today?
not
no,
today.
I haven't watched today's.
Oh.
I
course
think
I
I'm
had
the
no-
only one on the planet that hasn't watched
But-
any of them.
I forgot about that coming out, and I just binge watched 4 episodes earlier this week. So
How do you feel about it?
I like it. I don't know if it's going over or not, but I like it. What do you think?
I'm
Corey? I
loving
figured
it.
Corey'd be the one to.
I like
Give us
it.
the
It
inside
started a
scoop.
little emo.
Me, if for sure it did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good way to put it, right? It started a little emo.
So
Episode 1.
it
But
really reminded me of Boba Fett, where it started out with a big story, and the
Yeah.
first couple episodes were a little like, where are they going with this? And then, if you watch today's episode, I won't say much, but I was very happy with how it.
No,
how
I
it
have to
ended.
watch it. That was not to take it back. That was a brother Eric thing. He was like,
Yeah.
"You have to finish watching Obi-Wan for me." I'm like, "All right,"
Yeah.
because we bitched about the first episode together. I'm like,
Did
"This
you?
is pretty emo." Like, I
Yeah.
don't know, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch the first episode.
I
'cause I don't
have
even know
such
what
a
emo
hard
means.
time with Obi-Wan in the state he's in, especially the first 2 episodes. I'm like,
Kinda down and
Obi-Wan's
out.
my guy. Like
Yeah.
the prequels, I loved Obi-Wan. Like he's my favorite Star Wars character. Like even the books and whatnot, I just love,
Yeah.
that character.
the Star Wars
I'm like,
thread
oh, yeah.
is as much about him early as anything else. So it's just
For
kind
sure.
of, I don't know. It's just like, So I thought the original prequel should have been on hold. This episode's getting great. So I thought the whole prequel series should have been more about Obi-Wan Kenobi because like he's the wild story, right? Like they're like, hey, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're our only hope. Well, where's the only hope guy? And you're kind of getting that story now in the Obi-Wan series, but there that first episode I was like, ugh, God, this is slow.
Yeah.
And brooding and sad.
No, this episode today,
it was like
I
Jordan
watched it
playing for the Wizards. Like the first episode of Obi-Wan was like Michael Jordan playing for the Wizards.
Yeah,
it's like,
well, there's been some controversy too with the Inquisitor factor and all this stuff, and the what's her name, Moses, the black girl.
Oh yeah.
Like this huge controversy. Disney, like the pushback against Disney has been really sad almost. And Ewan McGregor threw a thing on online saying, guys, like she's a great part of the story, even if it's not like what you guys expected. Like she and her character, you'll like, it's good. It's good. So, I'm excited for you guys to watch it. I'll say that.
My perspective on life is always interesting, but after last week, like I don't understand being an asshole on the internet. Like, why is this a thing that we're spending our life energy on? I don't understand taking time to watch like really sad shit on television either. Like, I don't need any of that. Like, I don't just I just don't get it.
Oh, Patty gets mad if there's not a happy ending at the movie. She is pissed.
Listen, Patty and I are the same then.
Yeah.
You ever? It's an old movie, but Legends of the Fall. Brad Pitt.
Terrible.
She was so mad at you.
I wonder why Patty wanted to watch that.
Well, yeah, but at the end she was mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have time for it. Anyway,
she's a Hallmark.
Obi-Wan. I mean, spoiler alert. Like we know that one of the main plot lines is a person who's alive later, right? So it's like there's a few things that tip things.
There's a few people that are alive later on.
Yeah,
so
correct. So it's like,
I'm pretty sure if they're following canon, these people are still alive for A New Hope. So we're gonna be okay.
It's kind of like watching Tom Hanks in Apollo 13. You're like, they make it home, right? Like you know this. Like it's very dramatic, but.
The episode tonight, I watched it right before I jumped on while I was putting my daughter to bed, and I awesome. Yeah, definitely get on that.
I haven't watched any of it. I need to, but I've been obsessed with an entire new series that
The Boys.
My tips. Okay, there it is.
Yeah,
there it is.
Young Newman is like,
I'm saving it for the tips.
But it's
we're at the
food. Like James was like, you were talking about
put the graphic.
I think he needed the hint for what Father's Day meal was going to be.
Oh yeah. Jason, what's that meal? What's that meal?
Oh yeah, what's the meal?
Because
I initially
James is sitting here waiting.
I initially went to prime rib. You got to do the prime rib, baby.
Yeah,
prime rib, garlic, mashed potatoes, and anything else. But either that or lasagna. I know that's.
Do you always smoke your prime ribs, Jason?
And I are kindred spirits. I was literally just about to say lasagna. Not sure if it's the Garfield influence on me, but lasagna definitely.
But that's
I love prime rib, but here's my problem when I do big pieces of meat. Can't say big meat on the internet.
There we are. We haven't had one of those in a long time. The chat's been a little sad too. The jump claps. Maybe it's because of the absence of Ty, but we got to get that jump clap going again.
Yeah. But the girls don't like meat as rare as I want to cook it. So like I did a tri-tip Monday.
Being really careful here.
Don't you clap about my daughter, Corey. So yeah, I always end up cooking things too long. You know what I mean? I cook it past where it needs to be for me to. I did it. Yeah, like I said, I did a tri-tip, and I cooked it to. It was more medium well than medium rare, so it was still good and it was still juicy, but it would have been better panker.
That's always the part when cooking steaks on the grill is having the guts to pull them off.
Yeah,
almost before you think you're supposed to.
Yeah,
right, and be like, we're gonna trust it.
I just bought a big. I've never done them before. Jason's probably done them. Like the dino ribs, the short ribs, beef short ribs, like the big old plate. I've not cooked them yet. They're in the. I actually put them in the freezer. But
they're glorious.
I've taken pictures and sent them to Casey, asking him what I need to do when I go to trim them and stuff. So that's my next big cook. But my goal was to have the outdoor, the new porch with all my cookers out there. And that all got set back yesterday. So
yeah,
pre-tornado. Yeah, I think if I had to pick a meal, so I mean that's gonna sound odd. Like well, you guys know because you've seen. Like I'm a sandwich guy. Like I love really, really great sandwich. Yeah. So if I were to pick like the sandwich of all sandwich for me, like there's nothing better than like a fantastic Cuban sandwich. That's like my favorite sandwich.
With a pulled pork and
and the ham and the mustard and cheese.
Yeah,
and then
I'm with you with a Cuban coffee on top of that. Sure.
Yeah. So if like that, that's probably not going to happen on Sunday, but that's the jam. There was a restaurant in town that had a great Cuban sandwich in Manhattan, and then they took it off the menu, and it was like it broke my heart a little bit. I was like, "Wait, what is happening? You're not going to make that anymore?" Was I the only one ordering it? Is the person that made it still here?
Yeah,
like, can we still do this?
Yeah.
Can I hire him once a week? Is that like
yeah? So that's it.
When we had the in-laws out for dinner last weekend, that whole hand-holding story I told, my father-in-law ordered roast beef, but he wanted it made into a Manhattan, which I didn't know what he was talking about. I'm thinking drinks, but so it came out and it basically was like, or Ian will know, it was like a hot hamburger. You ever see those?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the roast beef on bread with the gravy on top.
Open face sandwich. Yeah.
So that's what it was, but it looked really good. But I've never heard that before. He wanted it a Manhattan.
Yeah, that's a Ryan Vermouth, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I think I'd run with tacos right now. I've been on a taco kick, and maybe even Troy's Crunch Wraps on the grill or whatever he does there. But I'm on this like taco and like barbacoa, that kind of stuff.
Tacos are wonderful. The whole family loves taco.
So like ground beef or like shrimp or chicken or fish or what kind
all of the above.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we could blend the two at this taco place I have that I love. It's called Taqueria 27. It's around the corner. They make steak and potato tacos.
Yeah.
But they're flour tortilla, but instead of refried beans, they use garlic mashed potatoes, and then they put I'm
all in, but it sounds kind of weird. But I'm all in.
I thought, I look for it now. It's
if they can put that in a cheesy gordita crunch taco.
I'll try. Oh, I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have a Blackstone like Troy.
Oh, so yeah, I do need to make that. That needs to happen.
And you know what else? I am excited to try at some point is Corey's. What is it? The smoked queso. No, the queso.
Smoked queso is
that queso you sent us.
I need to learn a little bit.
Queso is crazy.
Goodness gracious.
About making queso. Yeah.
I made it for Super Bowl this year under Corey's supervision, and it was delicious.
That sounds
the
great.
smoked queso, glorious. The Old Bay seasoned hot wings.
Mm-hmm.
These are wins, but that's queso on the smoker recipe. Ooh.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not too crazy. It's chorizo, sausage, ground beef, and then I mean, a bunch of extra spices and whatnot. But then it's just, I mean, it's cilantro and several cheeses and cream cheese. It's just time. Like you have to have somebody patient. And so the way that queso on the smoker is best is you almost have to like smoke it till it gets like that weird kind of crust on the top of it. And then like stir that back in and let that happen more than once because that browning crust, whatever stuff going through there multiple times is what makes it. Yeah.
Dang it, now I'm hungry. I got to wake Patty.
I know. I haven't eaten anything today.
I'm using up all my just the tips now, but I do have the one I was saving. I might as well.
Let's get into just the tip.
Yeah, somebody put the graphic up. That's the best part of the show.
Oh yeah, Corey, just the tip.
Got it.
The best part of the show, Troy.
Well, I get a kick out of it every time.
It's time for just the tips. All right, Jason, what's your tip?
Since we were talking about food, I had the one tip I was looking on where I get all my inspiration, of course, is YouTube. I found this smoker recipe they're called smoked shotgun shells. What you do is
I saw that.
You take the dry manicotti, you season sausage with cheese and all that, stuff them in the manicotti shells, wrap the manicotti with bacon, and then throw them on the smoker. And then halfway through, you turn it up, baste them in barbecue sauce, and let it caramelize, and take them out and live a good life. So
that sounds lovely.
Future Instagram photos to come, but that looks like it's going to be a heck of a recipe.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Instagram, you guys are doing a great job posting stuff. It's good. If you want to see some fun stuff, I'll throw those tomahawks up at some point too.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Troy, what's the tip for the week?
Well, my tips are a little bit dated because it's been a rough week. So most of my tips were from last week's show that we didn't end up doing.
Yep.
But I thought it'd be kind of fun to go through. I realized that I don't have a whole lot to offer because I don't read much. But I watch a lot of YouTube videos. So I thought, let me just give you some highlights of what some other guys are doing on YouTube. Like,
all right.
I wanted to talk about like ADHD was doing. Did you guys see any of his, he had like a 5-part bourbon skirmish where he put Rare Breed up against 5 different bourbons. There's like 5 different episodes.
Oh, really?
So he ran against Booker's. It was one show. Then Blue Note, Knob Creek Single Barrel. Then he did Elijah Craig. And I don't know if the 5th episode is out yet or not. I haven't seen the 5th episode, but those are all pretty good videos. And Rare Breed was faring pretty well against all of them. So if you've not seen those, I would recommend those. And then I also wanted to just talk real quick about, Will and Grease are doing the whiskey news. I enjoyed those.
Great.
Good choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing I had is I just wanted to make a quick note that the bourbon junkies are still like big fans of anything that tastes like bananas. As far as I still watch all their videos, but if it's not bananas, it's no good. I wanted to give Sean a little credit because one of the last episodes I watched, they did the new Jack Daniel's Bonded.
Yeah.
And Sean didn't like it that well, which I was surprised because that's banana as hell,
Banana AF, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep, and he wasn't a big fan, so it was almost a fist fight on the set there, but yeah.
So the Bourbon Junkies, I don't watch everything they do. I watch a little bit, but their Poor Guesses is one of the most fun shows on the internet. I find because it's just them goofing off with trying to challenge each other and beat one another. And I watch that religiously every Friday because it's fun to see them banter.
Yeah, they are. They do a lot of good content. I know I like to have a fun, poke at them and stuff, but they're good. And
they poke at you with the Ohio comments for no good
reason. I mean, they're just irritate me all the time. Oh, and I also want to mention real quick that I know there's only 9 people watching or whatever, but tomorrow we're doing a new bar night at home with Dustin and Eric and Clint. So we're doing a over 100 proof. So
sweet,
it's gonna be 100 plus.
It'll get loose.
Yeah. Dustin usually enjoys those nights.
Yeah,
and he's the host. And
it should be a good one. We've changed our schedule, and we're just gonna do like one a month now, and just kind of space them out.
That's great. Throw that on the Flannel Panel Instagram as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get that up there.
Okay.
Make sure and chime in. Those are fun times. Those guys interact really well with the chat, and it's a lot of fun. And you get to see Troy dominate on the bar night at home. So
I had a pretty big lead, although I've kind of the last season or so I've kind of let up. I've run out of my good stuff, and I really don't. I don't know. I don't worry about it as much. I just try to instead of trying to win all the time, I just maybe something they haven't tried, which is not a good strategy. No,
do you need us to help you try to win a little bit?
Yeah,
we need to stack the deck somehow.
Right.
I mean, we can.
Yeah, I really like to win. Yeah,
I like it.
I'm a fan of the got a guy strategy for victory.
Hell yeah!
So I know some of those episodes are a little bit, they were hot last week, but if you haven't seen them, I would go back and check them out.
Yeah, definitely. Bar Night at Home, and it's barnight.com, right?
Yes.
Yeah, check it out, and it goes straight to the YouTube channel. It's great fun. It's a lot of fun, and I think that's a cool. I was doubling up on that. I sent a few whiskey samples to a couple buddies locally, and I did this little challenge where it was blind, and blind samples are just the best because you never know what it is. Like, as much as you want to think you're good at whiskey, you have no freaking clue what's going on with it. So it's Matt Mattis may prove us wrong with all that stuff and these guys guessing it, but it's fun to do blind. So have fun and do that. Yeah. Corey, you got a tip?
I'll let you go first.
Okay.
I do have
my tip. All right. My tip is leaning towards that winning thing. Tim Kennedy, if you don't know who he is a military dude, Green Beret and Special Forces guy, and a UFC dude. And he just came out with a book that I listened to on Audible. He reads it, and it's fantastic. I was curious because he kind of seems like a cocky, arrogant guy on social media, but I like his values and whatnot. And the book is just so good. It talks a lot about his challenges in life and personality and kind of overcoming some stuff and being a cocky dick in the book, and how it's changed his life and how he's kind of evolved over time to be who he is now, and it challenged me as a person to just like maybe look inward a little bit and see what can we do to help people and whatnot. And the end of the book, he talks about he went to Afghanistan after the military pulled out and tried to help some people, and the end of it just kind of it warms your heart, and there's good people in this world. So maybe give that book a listen to. I love Audible. It's been fantastic. I drive a fair bit in the car, so I just throw that on, and that's been that. So check that book out.
What's the name of the book, Ian?
I believe it's called Scars and Stripes or Stripes and Scars or something like that, and it's Tim Kennedy's book. It's good. Again, military guy, Green Beret, Special Forces, UFC fighter, all that stuff. Talks about fighting Chuck Liddell and growing up in that whole atmosphere and whatnot, and still at the end of it shows care and compassion. So it's pretty cool. So check.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, Corey, send us home.
Just the tips. One, if you're not listening to Zach Bryan's American Heartbreak, download that record. It is fantastic. So he's kind of like a country / alt country feel to it. It's really kind of like broken down basic music. It's mostly just Zach and the guitar. He's a great storyteller for the most part. He's a former military guy. He was in the Navy and then became a singer-songwriter. And so a lot of it's just him and acoustic guitar, and then they sneak a little piano and violin and harmonica and stuff like that. Kind of like a little bit of 90s alt country feel to it every once in a while. It's just really, really good. So that's a perfect thing to throw on. And my other just a tip is after the last week and losing brother Eric, I will tell you this: if there's any tip I can give you, the most important one is if you have a chance to have a drink with your friends, take it. Like you will regret the moments that you miss out on. And I know stuff like that seems simple, but man, it's like whenever somebody goes, it's always the time when you're like, man, like I had an opportunity to go to a ball game or go sit down with somebody or go over and have a talk, or just when somebody's like, hey man, you want to get together and just have a second, like say yes to that stuff, whether it's your friends or your family members or kids or whatever. So it's just real easy to miss out on that. We found that with Eric, like we always thought when he was fighting cancer that we were going to have more time, and you just never know when you're not going to have more time. So man, like just that's the part you don't want to regret. So when one of your friends says, hey man, let's go have a drink, say yes to that. Say yes to that.
Hell yeah.
Say yes to that. That's for sure.
Perfect.
Well, and on that note, let's live large, live well, love everybody, and until next time, stay buttoned up.
Well, I'm not buttoned at all.
Yeah, I think the shirt.
I'll get buttoned next week.
All right, everyone. Cheers, y'all.
Yeah, love you, boys.